Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We are in the Book Nook, and today we are going to talk about another Bigfoot horror. I've been really getting into the Bigfoot horror lately, and this past month was the cryptid readathon, so I've been reading a lot of cryptid books. So we are going to talk about Jason White's Attack on Sasquatch Valley, and Jason is who I have been hosting the cryptid readathon with, along with Fiber Artsy. So it's always kind of nerve-wracking when you read someone's book that you know, because if you don't like it, that's really awkward. And thankfully, it's really good. It was a 5-star read for me. There's 4 stories in it. It's horror, but there's great emotional depth. The way he writes is just fantastic. The flow of words is really good. I felt like you can tell he reads a lot. Like you can see like his imagery and just it's very well written. And so that was awesome. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't talk about it. When I don't like a book, I don't do these rant reviews where I yell and I don't know, say mean things about people's books. So, anyways, sorry for the tangent. Let's get into this book. So, there's 4 stories. The first one is called The Horror at Dyer's Grove, and it follows the story of there's this girl, Clarice, and her dad and her brother and their buddies come back from a hunting trip. And her dad's got this like weird, creepy look in his eye, like he knows something and wants to say something, but the son is like, Dad, nope. Nope. Seems like something weird's going on, and maybe something happened on this hunting trip that they're not saying. Clarice's boyfriend also went on this trip. His name's Joey. And so he calls her up and he's like, "You are never gonna guess what we got on this hunting trip." And he's like, "I can't tell you over the phone, you'll never believe me. I'm gonna sneak out tonight and you'll come with me and I'll show you." And she's like, "Okay, sure." Dad's acting really freaking weird and being creepy. So, really kind of want to know, like, what the heck happened out there. Joey comes, they go to his house and they go to the garage, and there's something big and hairy under a tarp. And also, Joey's dad and the dad's friends are a bunch of drunk buttholes. They suck. So it's a Sasquatch under the tarp, right? It looks like a younger Sasquatch, and maybe the family might want revenge now. Just saying. So we'll leave it at that. That story is a horror story, but there's also some emotional depth to it as well that made me like, oh, it's really good. So you hit the ground running with that story. And so the next one is The Horror Below, and it's a story about these 2 roommates, and this one roommate comes home, his name's Jacob, and he smells so bad, like really, really bad. And his roommate's like, "Oh, what in the Sam Elliott is he been up to?" He doesn't want to say anything, and his roommate just like goes straight to bed and just, with his stink in the room. And the next day, he gets up and he sleeps like all day too. So like his roommate's kind of worried about him, like what the heck is going on? Then at some point he finally gets up like way late in the day and I believe he showers, so he smells less horrible. Still a little bit of that stench lingers. And he's like, "I really want to show you something," to his roommate. And he's like, "All right." And so they go to this weird like warehouse area, and the dude's like having alarm bells go off, and it sounds like there's like screaming coming in from this building that also like is an access to like the subway and sewer systems. So what's down there? I don't know. You have to read it to find out. And it's creepy and scary. Is Bigfoot in the sewer? I don't know. Maybe. And then after that one, there's the story I Am the Night that is about a family that are driving in really bad weather and they kind of spin out and the car it gets kind of stuck in the snow and they might not be alone out there. There might be a big scary creature that is not so friendly. And then you get to the last story, which is the namesake of the book, Attack on Sasquatch Valley. And that one was cool because it kind of like tied all the stories together and pulled them into, well, they were kind of in the same, like the stories you would hear from towns over and this, that, and the other. And I thought that was really cool. And it tells about this instance that happened in this part of town where there was an attack from Sasquatches that massacred a bunch of people. And yeah, if you like Bigfoot horror, if you like weird books about cryptids, it's a lot of fun. The writing's great, and I would highly recommend it. And if you like books about Bigfoot in general, the next video coming up will be about another Bigfoot horror that I read recently that I really loved, which was called Rogue by Luke Phillips. That will be the next video coming up if you want to stick around and click into that. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.